I never noticed the tower until the night it called me. It had always been there, people said, standing in the forgotten district at the city's edge. A tall, narrow shape of black stone, rising higher than it should, and strangest of all, not a single window broke its surface, just smooth, seamless walls. No one knew who built it or why. Some swore it wasn't on maps a decade ago. Some swore it moved. But I saw it for the first time walking home at midnight, fog curling through alleys, when the mist parted and there it stood. I should have turned away. Instead, I walked closer. The base was ringed by rusted fence, but the gate swung open without a sound. The door of the tower, massive iron with strange carvings, yawned wide. My phone had no signal. The street behind me was gone, just fog. The only way forward was in. The air inside was damp, thick with mold and iron. A single staircase spiraled upward into darkness. No lights, no floors, no rooms, just steps climbing forever. I told myself I'd take a look, then leave, but the door behind me shut with a slam. My flashlight beam shook across the walls. Carved into stone were hundreds of names, some crossed out, some fresh, some in my own handwriting. My stomach turned. I climbed. At first, the steps seemed ordinary, dusty, creaking with age. But after minutes of climbing, the air grew warmer. My breath echoed too loudly. I heard footsteps behind me. I spun. No one. Shadows stretched wrong. I climbed faster. After 10 minutes, I passed a landing. A wooden chair sat alone facing the wall. Something dark stained the seat. Above it, words scratched into stone. Sit and rest. I didn't. I kept going. My legs ached, but the staircase stretched endless. Another landing. This one had a mirror cracked down the middle. I shone my light and froze. My reflection was older, wrinkled, hair gray, eyes hollow. It mouthed words silently. Keep going. I stumbled back, nearly falling. The reflection pressed its palm against glass and cracks spread like veins. I fled upward. The higher I went, the stranger the tower became. The steps grew narrower, the air reeked of rot. Whispers slithered along the walls, calling my name. Some voices were mine, some children's, some guttural. I covered my ears, but the whispers lived inside my skull. At one landing, I found shoes. Dozens of them, piled high, wet with something dark. Small shoes, large boots, some still warm. I shoved past, heart pounding. Time dissolved. Minutes became hours. My flashlight flickered. Still no top, still no windows, still no way out. At one turn, I nearly screamed. A figure stood above me on the stairs, motionless. A man, tall, face hidden in shadow. I called out, voice trembling. He turned, slow, jerky, as if his body remembered motion too late. His face, no features, just smooth skin. He lifted his hand and pointed upward, then vanished. My legs shook, but I climbed faster. Hunger gnawed, thirst burned. Still I climbed. Shadows began to follow, dozens clinging to walls, lagging behind my movements. Some smiled when I didn't. At another landing, a table waited. On it, food, steaming, fresh, meat, bread, wine. My stomach screamed. I reached. The meat twitched. A face peeled open from flesh, my own. It whispered, "Eat and stay." I knocked the table over and ran. The whispers turned to screams, echoing, shaking walls. Shadows surged up the steps behind me. Hands clawed at my back. I climbed faster. And last I saw it, the top. A faint glow, golden, promising freedom. I stumbled upward, heart breaking with hope. The staircase ended at a single iron door. My trembling hands pushed it open. Light exploded. I staggered through, into another staircase, another spiral, another climb. Behind me, the door vanished. I screamed until my throat tore. Still, I climbed. At one point, I passed myself descending, hollow-eyed, broken, whispering, "Turn back!" But there was no back, only up. The steps narrowed, walls closing in, crushing my shoulders, shadows pressed close, whispering in unison. Almost there. My mind cracked. Time died. My body moved on its own, climbing. At last, another door. My hand bled as I turned the handle. The door opened onto daylight. I staggered outside, collapsing onto grass. The city spread before me. I laughed, sobbing. I made it out. But when I looked back, the tower still loomed, higher than ever, walls smooth, no windows. My phone buzzed. A message. Unknown number. One word. Continue. I looked down. The ground beneath me was not grass, but stone steps. The city faded. The tower walls rose again. And I was still climbing. I am still climbing. I will always climb. The tower has no windows because there is no outside. Only stairs forever. And if you listen at night, by the city's edge, you'll hear footsteps, echoing, endless, above you. My footsteps. Yours soon.